right, hello, welcome to another episode of Omar working out in his dark and dingy garage room gym. So I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, about a month actually, and within that month I was doing school, so college, right, and just working on that, being more focused on that, and I hadn't given myself like the proper time to dedicate towards this channel. And here I am just making a simple video where I just talk over my workout, right? And it's been a while since it's been a while since I've made any videos, but it's been a while since I've made any videos to where I'm just, this more simplistic style of training. So I'll kind of just talk to you guys about like, I don't know, updates or like my actual workout. So here, of course, I'm doing an upper body day, starting off with chin-ups. And then I go to superset with dips. I'm doing weighted dips and weighted chin-ups. Why am I doing these movements? Because I wanted to do these movements. And when I do upper body days, I superset almost all the time because I think it's very important to get those antagonist muscle groups. Antagonist kind of just means like opposite. And so when you want to do a vertical pulling movement, it's only proper to do a vertical pushing movement, or maybe not any vertical pushing movement, but a pushing movement in general. Like you could probably superset pull-ups with a bench press or something like that, whichever suits your needs or whatever you want to do. And so it's good to also train heavy as well. I'm just working with a 45-pound plate here on the chin-ups and the dips. And, I just wanted to get some more weight in, and I did do 3 sets of these. Everything else, every other exercise I did after dips and chin-ups, I did only 2 sets, and I feel like that's enough. I still get a pump. I still train a failure with enough intensity, and I seem to be doing pretty well in it. Just throughout school, I was able to work out in the school gym and stuff like that, and I've been able to do 2 sets for but just about most of my movements, and not having any types of problems there. I think it's very important to just see where playing around with sets and stuff like that, and I've been able to see that like I don't need to do 3 sets of every single exercise, right? So here I'm not doing the dips on my rack. My rack is very wiggly and wobbly, and it kept moving around, and I couldn't even perform like anything more than 2 reps on my last set. So I just decided to do like these the parallel dip bars here with a 12-pound weighted vest, and just trying to really make sure I check my form, and yeah, just do really good as possible. And then here I'm gonna have my last set of chin-ups come up. Again, just 45 pounds. Chin-ups are really good, especially for your biceps and your lats, due to the stretch, right, and your arms that are in that supination. Your biceps specifically are gonna get more work in. Now, I'm not gonna say that that's gonna be best for, let's say, getting the biggest arms you can get. I would say you should probably add in isolations and stuff like that. So that way you can cover all your needs, or, whatever. If you want to get big arms, right? Maybe you don't care. Maybe you like to just do your compound movements, then you should stick to that. But if you feel like, you want to improve in certain areas, then isolation is very much needed, right? I know I want to get bigger arms and whatever. So I do tricep extensions, and I do tricep movements, and I do bicep movements like curls and stuff like that. Here I'm doing lat pull downs. I basically almost never do this movement ever because I'm really more of like a pull-up guy, right? Doing pull-ups, body weight pull-ups, chin-ups, blah, 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 whatever. And I decided to do these because, I did the weighted chin-ups, and if I wanted to get a much more, I'd say, deeper contraction with my back, especially with kind of like an arched back position, bringing my shoulders completely forward and bringing my bar to the chest, I wouldn't be able to do that as efficiently if it was just my body weight. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's probably going to be a lot better with this little pulley system that I have. And this pulley system is nothing new. I've had this pulley system for a good minute now, probably for about a year now. And it works really well when it comes to, like, let's say doing some tricep exercises or some lat pull downs, which really are the only exercises I use this for. Again, calisthenics is my main girl. I'm always love you, calisthenics. I'm never going to give you up. Besides in this next clip here where I'm using weights to do behind the neck press. I've been doing behind the neck press a lot more lately. I think it's really good for getting your shoulders, more specifically your lateral delts, right? The outside shoulder, which helps with like the rounded look and the V taper, and then also not only does it make you look cool, but it can also help with shoulders, with your shoulder not being messed up and allowing with better mobility later, in the future, right? So a lot of people can have a lot of issues with their rotator cuffs, and a simple way to fix that or to even prevent those issues is to do behind the neck press, right? Get strong in that movement, or to just get a lot of reps in that movement, right? And then face pulls, which I also do later in this workout. Face pulls are very, very important to just get like your rear delt, like bigger shoulders and healthier shoulders, right? It's almost a guarantee that most movements that get your shoulders bigger are also going to get your shoulders healthier. So it's very important to do these, right? It's very important. So try to do behind the neck press if you can. And then if you can't work up to it, like, use lighter weight, stuff like that. Maybe just get to use the face pulls first. Do whatever you can in order to try and get the behind the neck press movement down. And no, behind the neck press isn't going to kill you. It's not going to give you, type 4 cancer. It's not going to give you colon cancer. You're not going to get type 2 diabetes from behind the neck press like how everybody else thinks. All it's going to do is just get your shoulders bigger, and it's going to get your shoulders healthier. But if you do feel some uncomfortability, that means you might lack mobility. And then you should try and switch it up with different movements. Maybe just stick to overhead press if overhead press does not bother your shoulders at all. And then also, again, like I just said, face pulls. Face pulls are probably one of the best exercises to prevent yourself from injury. Many people, when they lift, they can get injuries. Most of the time, injuries in their shoulder, because shoulders are a big part when it comes to the movement. Shoulders are practically like the hips of the upper body. And again, like, what do people also do? People get hip replacements, right? People get problems in their hips, right? So when we are working those areas like our shoulders and our hips in a way that allows for growth in these more disadvantageous positions, like a behind the neck press, right? A behind the neck press is kind of like an interesting position to get into rather than an overhead press, because you're resting the weight on your back and you're pushing it off from your back, rather than an overhead press where you just push it off from the front of you. It kind of, again, forces yourself in these interesting positions where your body has no choice but to get stronger and to adapt in. And when it gets stronger and it adapts in these movements, it has no choice but to also get better and to bulletproof. So now moving on, I have push-ups here. Push-ups, a main staple in my workout. I've always been doing push-ups, to be honest. Here I'm doing kind of diamond push-ups on the single parallel here. I haven't done these in a while, these specific variation, and my right wrist was a little weird. It felt a little iffy. So that could just be because, I haven't done this movement in 5 million years. But then I do end up switching to a different type of push-up variation where I just use both of the parallettes. And here, face pulls. Like I said before, face pulls are very important for the shoulders. You want to get those shoulders right, man, all right? And you want to get them big. Getting them right gets them big, whatever. I'd also like to mention I am vegan now. Here I am, the classic vegan, telling people that I'm vegan without anybody asking. But I thought that would be very important, especially since my channel is based mainly around fitness. And so it would kind of make sense, to tell you guys what I might be eating or the style that I'm eating. I won't go into much detail, not in this video maybe, about my diet, but I have been vegan since the summer. I can't remember which month specifically, but I knew I was kind of transitioning and then became full-on vegan after learning more and more about plant-based alternatives. Not plant-based alternatives, but more of just eating a more whole foods, plant-based diet, stuff like that, and just trying to, cook more. I feel like I've always been a good cooker, but now I feel like I'm really more involved into my cooking, into, what I put on my plate. And so it's things like health and longevity, environmental impacts, and even ethics are a major part as to why I've switched to a, whole foods, plant-based vegan diet, right? I know that's a long title, but it's something that just was really compelling. Was really compelling to me with all the data and all the information. And but if you do have any questions about that, then you can put that below, and I can maybe include that in a future video where I do talk about my recent diet change. Yeah, but it's very recent. Only the past 5 or so months. And I do have a friend, Andrew. He's been on the channel before, and he is vegan. He's been vegan for 4 years now, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course, like, I think he's the only like vegan I know in person. No, like there's 3 other people, but yeah, this definitely wasn't something I did like for the first time ever. I did go vegan like back in middle school, and back in middle school I was pretty fat, and I remember around that time that I went vegan, I also lost a good amount of weight. I was like the fat chubby kid, and then I lost like a lot of weight actually, and I feel like that was a good thing because, well, for one, I got made fun of less, and my confidence went up, and that might have been because when we were being vegan, we weren't just like eating. Well, when I said we, kind of like my mom and I, we went vegan, and it was for maybe 7 months or something like that, or it might have not been 7 months. It was probably just 3 months. And yeah, I saw a lot of changes in my body and my health because we were eating more whole foods. So here is a update, kind of like a physique update here. I'm currently in my 170s, so and then before being vegan, or when I started vegan a couple months ago, I was like in my 150s maybe. So now I'm in my 170s. That's about 20 pounds or so. And maybe it's too much weight too fast, but still, like, the weight kind of just like, I just started packing back on weight like pretty fast and pretty soon. And so yeah, so obviously vegan can help you gain weight if you eat properly and eat right. You're not gonna become some like skinny, malnourished, like starving person, because apparently all people think that vegans eat are like vegetables, raw vegetables and raw fruits, and that's it all day. And here's me doing some jump rope. I've been including jump rope or really any type of cardio at the end of my workouts, 10 minutes or so. So 5 minutes on, 1 minute off, 5 minutes on. And I've been enjoying it a lot. I think cardio is very, very important for health. Getting your heart better is going to allow you to have better workouts and to work out maybe even longer, or to make your workout shorter, because now you can recover a lot better. So very much so, keep it in mind that you should probably do some type of cardio on a day-to-day basis, because your heart is your most important muscle. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Peace out. Have a good one.